Hey, this is Anthony with RevZilla. You watch, decide, and ride. Welcome to our brief graphical overview of the new Bell Star MIPS Helmet, available at RevZilla.com. New for late 17, headed into 18. This is the Bell Star MIPS. I'm going to call it a redux of the original Bell Star, which worked so well. Now, a few years ago, we saw the new Star family come out with really a very similar shape and theme. The Star, then you went to the Race Star, then you went to the Pro Star. The higher end helmets got lighter. They had 3K carbon, some different bells and whistles. This is the mid-range point, which I'm not going to call an entry-level or mid-range helmet. This is your stock Bell Star now. Moving forward, you're only going to be able to get this MIPS version. And there are a few things that changed about this helmet. The first thing that changed is it went from around the 4-pound mark to 314. Still a little bit heavier, but it still rocks. It's still going to be a DOT, ECE, a DOT and Snell rated helmet. The other thing that changed with this helmet, and again, there's some other nuance changes, is the MIPS factor. So looking at this helmet, it now has a multi-directional impact protection system built in. They started this in the motocross world. What it is almost a polyurethane thin plane of plastic that lives between the comfort liner and it lives between, I don't believe you're going to be able to see it, between the EPS. So what this does is it slows down rotational energy transfer to your head. In a crash, it's going to rotate your head side to side or front to back. An EPS and a shell typically take an impact. Rotating forces making your brain twist and rotate are a really big deal, and they're really bad. You don't want that to happen. You don't want your brain to twist in your skull. So what MIPS does is it is ultimately going to allow the helmet and the shell to rotate a little bit, lengthen the impact, and saving some of that energy from your head. We saw MIPS show up in a lot of the high-end dirt helmets from Bell. Now we're seeing it go all the way across the line, except for at the very high end when they're going to use their Flex technology system, which actually does an even better job at managing rotational forces. The other big change that we're going to see, and again, you can see the spoiler here is extended like the Race Star or the Pro Star, again with this new MIPS version going into 18. But the other big change that they've made is they've added a 6th shell. And what they've also done is they've given you more room in the ears. One of the complaints with the redesigned Bell Star of the last few years, which really, if at first glance would look like the exact same helmet, is just a little bit too tight around the ears. And that's not too tight if you're using a Bluetooth unit. That's too tight for extended riding periods. And you have to look at this helmet as a hardcore sport riding, track day riding, everyday helmet that's aggressive in the tuck, can be worn in the 3/4 upright riding position. Again, it's not going to break the bank as it comes in the 4s. Super premium, but it was lacking a little bit on the comfort side. So you're looking at it and you're seeing a more well-designed helmet from a protection and a fit standpoint that ultimately gives you that nice upgrade without changing the price. Now, quick note on Fitment, intermediate to long oval. And you're going to see that it's using a 6 shell, so it becomes a bit more compact. Again, true large for one of these helmets is going to be a 58, 59. It's not going to go up to a size 60 in its measurement. So make sure you're using the size chart, lock in, take that head measurement, and get it right. But ultimately, you have a better chance at comfort in and around the ear pockets and protection as you're moving forward. Remember, we'll ship free over 39 bucks, and I'd love it if you click our logo, subscribe to us at RevZilla on our YouTube channel, leave me your comments, your questions, your feedback on the new Bell Star's MIPS helmet, or Bell Star MIPS helmet, M-I-P-S. Now, if we dive into the helmet itself, the basics, what we know and what we love about the Star. Very limited changes aside from what I've already given you for the rest of the helmet. 7 total vents, and you have passive vents in the back. So 7 active vents. You have your chin vent, open and close. It's not a pin lock ready helmet. Now you have your brow vent. Open and close. You have your chimney vent on top, open and close. Again, big funnels of air going into the helmet. Again, 10mm vent holes venting it to the scalp and the air exhausting out the back. Now you have an open and closable or an active vent here high on the head, Venturi vent, and then you also have these passive Venturis down here. You have a handful of vents that, again, as you're riding, if you're in this position at speed, you're going to get a vacuum of low pressure behind your head, and it extracts warm, moist air off of the helmet, out of the helmet, pulling that sweat away, keeping you cool, keeping you comfort. As we look at the helmet from the front, you're going to see it's using the same shield that Bell has developed. You're also getting that Panavision, which again cuts away some of the sideline here, giving you better line of sight for head checks. And one of the things I've always really liked about this helmet is the fact that the shield has a spring-loaded mechanism. Again, as it comes down, it's going to, you're going to notice this sucks it back, spring-loaded, pulling against that gasket, giving you a great seal from Mother Nature, and also giving you a very positive lock at the bottom. Cracked position, city position, down position. In the city position, that's really your defog with the chin vent open. As you work your way back to the helmet, you're going to see big sweeping spoiler along the side. They've extended it about a centimeter here. It's going to match up with a similar shell now as a Race Star and a Pro Star. In my opinion, this helmet, again, great aerodynamic profile, but not the lightest helmet in the bunch when you get into this $400+ range. That continues to be my gripe with it. As we work our way down, you're going to see just thoughtful cutaways. In my opinion, this whole family in many ways, shape, and form. I can remember the first time I saw drawings of this helmet. It was probably back in 2012. Ultimately follows a similar form as what we see from the Shoei X14. Very aggressive, integrated spoiler, great venting scheme. Rock solid helmet. High speed mode, aggressive riding mode, track day mode. Again, it screams, and this black, white, and red colorway on this guy really doesn't hurt either. As we work our way into the guts of the helmet, let me grab my donut here, pull it over, pull it on its side. You're gonna see a lot of the staples within the Bell line. Now you're gonna see these lines, that's your X-static components on the inside liner. That's going to be a silver weave, which is antimicrobial, it's wicking, it's anti-funkified. It will battle the effects of any kind of bacteria, any kind of smell. And again, all of this is removable and cleanable. Here comes your neck roll. You can pull it out all the way. Notice it's a microfiber. It's wicking. Wherever you see those lines are the X-static. You can see it along the inside. It's meant to catch all of your swelt, pull it away, and dry. It's also very cleanable. As you work our way in, it does have an emergency cheek pad removal system right here. And that means they come out pretty easily. Notice I'm pulling away that cheek pad, 35mm. Notice the X-static by that line. Again, that's the antimicrobial, antibacterial factor. But if you want the magnetic cheek pads, you have to go up to the Race Star or the Pro Star. Again, we see them in the higher end helmets. I'm gonna pull out this side as well. This chin curtain comes out as well, fully removable, and that leaves us with our comfort liner along the inside. Notice neodymium rare earth magnet allows you, when you loop back to your double D ring, you're going to be able to pop it. It just stays in place. That's a nice touch, very thoughtful. And as I pull my comfort liner out, I don't want to break it here. Got to go easy. Hit the gym this morning, obviously. I'm all fired up as I pull this out. I like what they've done around the brow line. This is a very thoughtful integration. It goes in very simply. It's easy to remove. It keeps everything in place without creating any pressure points. So, you know, you see some stitching, but you don't see any big snaps in the front that are going to get in the way. And notice up here on top as well, you have a dual layer. You have a lot of cutaways. This is going to be designed so that it's comfortable. It's wicking sweat. It gives you great coverage while not creating pressure points, but allowing a good amount of airflow. Again, we've seen in anything north of a $200 helmet at this point, 3D sonically welded comfort liners really become the staple. Now you see this high-vis yellow. You're like, wait, did high-vis Brian sneak in when it was dark? No, he learned his lesson when he was a teenager. He doesn't do that anymore. If we look at this helmet, this is the MIPS system. This is the slipper plane. Notice it has a little bit of play. You can see that play around the snaps holding it in place. That is your very thin slip plane, adding almost no weight to this helmet, but adding a few degrees of rotational play to allow it to manage energy, transfer less of that rotational impact sharply to the brain, giving you a better chance of really staying healthy, even in a low-speed crash where you happen to kind of bonk or you rotate off your bike. Notice also what Bell does so well. They've really nailed over the years their integrated ventilation schemes. So many channels sucking air down your mohawk, down the ears, towards the temples, and channeling them away. The other piece you can see here along the sides as well is they've given you more room in the ears, and you can pull out those pads and get a speaker system in there now. So our recommendation would be a Cardo or a Sena for an aftermarket, and if you're bolting it on, you're gonna get that comm unit, you now have plenty of room to work with within your ear pockets. So all in, remember, the upgrades, 2 ounces lighter, still a little bit of a heavy helmet. They give you the MIPS system, which is a nice touch, and they've changed the comfort profile by giving you more room in the ears, and that's actually, just along with the MIPS, my 2 favorite things about this helmet. Ultimately, it is a helmet with a track record. These are the improvements to the 2018 version, the MIPS version. You're no longer going to be able to buy the previous version, but there should be a wealth of consumer and rider knowledge and reviews that you're going to be able to pour through to get a sense outside of people saying, hey, the old version didn't have enough room in the ears, what people love about this helmet. So the next step in your journey, let me get my floppy dangler out of there. There we go. The next step in your journey, click the info button, your desktop, your mobile device, and visit the product detail page for the new Bell Star MIPS at RevZilla.com. Read other rider reviews. You shouldn't just take my word for it. As always, we'll ship for over 30 bucks. If you want to talk to a gear geek, see us at RevZilla.com or 877-792-9455. Thanks for watching our detailed breakdown. Remember, subscribe to us at RevZilla on our YouTube channel. Stay up to date with our opinion of the latest and greatest in the moto universe. I'm Anthony. We'll see you next time.